Look at Kino logo.
Yes!
Remember when Xbox was soulful?
I've always said that original Xbox is a pretty darn good system. It always comes down to my Halo. Even when customers want an Xbox, it's always like, can I get an Xbox and Halo 2 and that's it? But like, there were a lot of good exclusives, and then there was Dino Crisis 3.
Yeah, so gonna be playing Dino Crisis 3. So we're gonna see how this goes. Oh yeah, audio mixing in this game is horrendous.
Good.
Dino Crisis tradition. So yeah, we're gonna be playing this game. I don't know if I'm gonna finish it. I'm gonna kind of just test to see if it's interesting to Spencer and to YouTube land, because this game is kind of infamous for kind of killing the series and people don't like it. But I wanted to give it a fresh chance. And I think the premise, I don't really mind the premise. It's just that I kind of find this game boring. So we'll just, we'll see what happens.
Worst case scenario, if like, oh crap. Worst case scenario, if at the end of the sit down we honestly go, this is boring, then we'll just call it a let's try and put it up as a one-part let's try and be like, here you go, you'll never see the whole game because it's just too boring.
Because the first 10 minutes with all the cutscenes and all the stuff happening, it's like, my first impression was like, man, this game's cool. But then it's like, you play the game and you're like, uh-oh.
I have wanted to see this game for years. I've owned it forever, and I just never had the inclination to like want to play it. But I also never played Dino Crisis 2, and we saw that that's actually pretty cool.
Yeah, Dino Crisis 2 I love. Yeah, my first impression of this game, when I first like booted it up, I was like, oh, it's Dead Space meets Metroid Other M. And like, that was my first impression, and the more that I played it, the more I was like, this is exactly Dead Space meets Other M. Which is like both a good and a bad thing. Yeah,
seriously, Ozymandias.
Do we have a response?
Negative.
Could you use another name?
Contact with the Ozymandias on all frequencies. There has been no response to the calls.
Captain, it's almost in our sight.
All things considered, it looks pretty good.
Yeah, I mean, it's pre-rendered. I think the actual in-game graphics are okay. I mean, obviously it looks better than... Well, it's sort of subjective. It looks better than the first two games.
It's hard to compare through generations. You would have to compare to what came out in 03, you know?
Also, these spaceships, I don't know if you're familiar with it at all, but it kind of reminds me of Warhammer 40k.
I am not, unfortunately.
Yeah, Warhammer 40k has like the most over-designed ships possible. It's not on that level or even close, but it's like very, very big and a lot of stuff is happening.
By the way, for those of you familiar with this channel, you'll know that we are constantly upping and down, putting the volume up and down. Like, this game, whenever anyone talks, it's like, clearly not loud enough.
Yeah, we just have a room mic, so we do everything through just the TV,
right.
so everyone can hear, right?
Detach sequencer.
Let's do it, partner.
Separation. 5,
I will say, even if this game is boring AF and this is a let's try, it does have a little bit of soul. Like, it's aight.
Yeah, a lot of times when I see people talk about this game very occasionally, they're mostly like, what were they thinking? Dinosaurs in space? And it's like, well, Dino Crisis 2 was already pretty sci-fi, and by the end you're just like, oh, it's like sci-fi technology, so it feels like more like a natural evolution to me, but it's more so that the game's bad.
Big Mama! There's no way anyone's alive in there. I mean, that's an intergalactic immigrant craft from 300 years ago.
So, you're saying it's some kind of ghost ship? But it's headed straight for Earth.
And of course there's no
Someone
subtitles.
must be navigating.
Wait, what's she doing? Ah!
Retreat! Saber! Acknowledge!
Rip. Literally the plasma cutter.
Ready for impact.
Please tell me you play as that guy.
I actually don't know quite yet. Because he's a character that's still alive, and you do meet up with him. But, spoilers of this very important plot.
It's great, man. How the hell are we supposed to go home now?
But no, you play as the most boring and generic character possible.
That guy who was just talking, saying, how are we supposed to go home?
Yeah, just white guy. That's all you can really describe
Oh,
this.
so there should just be, like, it should be an Urban Dictionary thing that the character from, Disaster Report, if it's generic, boring white guy, it's just that guy. I forgot his name again. We said it last week.
It's like John Smith. Who knows?
Dude, we just said it last week.
It's like a black hole of memory.
All right, hold on. There's Karen, and there's Karen's the girl, and then Trevor McFur is the other guy. No, dang it. And I don't have my phone on me today to look
Isn't
it up.
it Kevin? Keith
Helm.
There we go.
Literally Keith Helm. Every generic, boring character.
It's like, could you come up with something else instead of Keith? One of the most it'd only be worse if it was like Matt.
Sonia.
Heck.
I don't even remember what the name of this guy is.
I'm excited to see this. I'm not going to force Trevor into finishing it, but if it's, like, enjoyable enough, I might be like,
Well, you'll see. I don't know. I'm not saying that this game's horrendous. In fact, I think it's in that middle ground of being, like, not super bad, but not good either.
We're not enemies.
there you go. You're starting.
So I will say that the movement in this game actually feels really nice. You have this jetpack, and a dedicated jump, and a hover. And it's like the movement's cool. Unfortunately, it is ruined by fixed camera angles, and in this game it's very awkward because no tank controls.
Activating power.
This is actually a game that I think would like possibly be better if it was tank controls,
Wow.
because some of the camera shifts are very sudden.
Oh, so we should mention this. I don't know if we'll ever play this game, but there is a game between Dino Crisis 2 and 3. But let's watch this cutscene first.
Are you okay? Where is everyone else?
Dead! They're all dead!
Take it easy.
Yeah, this cutscene that's happening right now is actually super
It's all
awesome.
right.
Good.
It takes at least 7 days before we can expect a rescue. That's after we're declared overdue. So we better secure the ship and search for any survivors.
This main character, can you imagine a more generic design and voice?
What is this?
Oh.
God.
How did they not notice that?
Cool design.
Yeah, so I don't know exactly what's going on with the dinosaurs yet. They're like obviously like zombies or genetically altered, and they can also like warp through dimensions.
I'm okay.
By the way, if you have a phobia of, I don't know what it is, but you might get some phobia from this cutscene.
Wait.
Parasitic phobia.
It must sense something.
Is this game starting you out with like a literal like action thing right away? Like 1 second in.
Pretty much, yeah.
That would be my reaction as well. Oh, God.
Yeah, the way that this game starts is really weird.
It's like you see the T-Rex 1 second in, and then it, like,
Yeah.
dies, I guess. I mean, it looks like it's dead. I don't know if it's gonna... And I know that sounds weird, but anyone who's played the first 2 Dino Crisis knows that every time you're like, T-Rex is dead, it's like, clearly not. But it looks like everything's just gonna burst out of this at the same time, so...
Yeah, the two biggest idiots. How about get away from that thing? Those parasites are still there.
Ugh, gross!
Wow, who could have seen this coming?
What are these things?
Yeah, I clearly know.
God, what's the controls? The controls in this game are a little weird.
80TC, is this also arcade style where you get like money and stuff?
Yeah. So yeah, the first gun that you have, this assault rifle, is infinite ammo, which is nice. The bad thing is that everything else, it's basically worthless, except against these guys. I can actually leave the room right now. I can go to that door and just escape this, but this is a pretty good point to... Do you see the meter on the top right? That is actually like a bonus gauge. I don't even know if they actually even explain it, but when you get to a save point, and if the gauge is completely filled, you get like a pretty heavy point bonus. And it does it in increments. Like if it's 50% complete, you get a bonus. Another one that's 100% complete. So that's a really easy room. So just wanted to kill everything.
That's an interesting loading screen. Oh. Does literally every one have a loading, like an actual loading screen? Wow. Oh, this does have a cutscene, so. Dude.
Yeah, like, literally the in-game cutscenes are like half the volume.
I had to turn it from 18 on this TV to 38 to hear what they're saying. So here's what... warning, headphone users. I'm going to leave it at this, what it's at, which is 40 right now. Which you can barely hear. You can hear okay. And then we're going to see what the in-game sounds like.
Okay, so these are basically this game's Velociraptors. Oh, God.
Look at that!
Yeah. So the Velociraptors are very dangerous. Even on normal, they can, like, kill you in 3 hits. So this game has pretty aggressive auto-aim. So a lot of times the safest course of action is to get on top of like a ledge and then just shoot them. The Limit Breaker, we'll get into what that is. But yeah, these guys, I mean, you're shooting like 3 to 5 bullets a piece, and they take like 30, 40 bullets a piece. Like, this gun is just terrible. But it's free.
Do you get any bonuses, like you do in Dino Crisis 2 at the end of the room?
No.
Okay.
It's basically only when you get the save points.
Gotcha. Well, yeah, I mean, you barely got anything up from killing those 2 dangerous Velociraptors.
I wonder if it's going to tell me to destroy these blocks. Oh, they don't. If you don't destroy these blocks, they're like, hey, do a charge shot.
Oh, okay. I was gonna say, man, this game does not teach you anything.
Yeah, but the charge shot is terrible because when you're doing it, you can't move.
You're fixed. Wow.
And also, the controls pushing down goes up, so it's like also super awkward. And like, look, it's like fixed camera. You can barely see what's going on.
I like how fast you like fall from your...
Yeah, I mean, I like the movement in this game. It's very cartoony in terms of having, like, a jetpack on command. The unfortunate thing is that, at least the hour that I played this game, this entire game is this. Like, this environment. Like, these generic spaceship hallways, such generic rooms. This does not.
Oh, okay.
I don't think any of the files that I picked up matter so far. So what we picked up is called a WASP, which probably stands for something. So you can also just pick up points that show up occasionally.
Warp, action, space.
Yeah.
compare.
So the Wasp are your sub-weapons. The unfortunate thing is that they're good. Like, the Tempest is basically, when you shoot it out, it is like an autonomous laser, like, little gadget thing that shoots dinosaurs for a couple seconds. And it's strong, but the unfortunate thing is that the Wasp are also used for opening doors, which we'll probably see in a little bit.
So I definitely see what you're talking about in terms of the camera angles.
Oh, yeah.
Like, if there was a dinosaur in that room when you first started, like, based on the angle it started... Like, this would be fine. This is fine. But that last one, if there was a dinosaur there, it would be impossible to tell. You couldn't tell. I guess you would just have to hear it, you know? That would be tough.
And, yeah, it's especially bad because, like I said, I'm playing on normal. I'm just playing on normal, and those Velociraptors kill you in 3 hits.
How do you heal?
It's basically the same way that Dino Crisis 1 and 2 do. So here's the menu. It's pretty similar. Your lifelines are your continues, and then you can choose your gun and your Wasp. And then they give you different recovery kits.
Okay.
They give you one of each. So in this game, you only start out with being able to carry one, but you can upgrade it, but it's pretty costly to do for some reason. I mean, I guess having a bunch of healing is pretty good, but it's very expensive.
So this guy's name is Patrick?
Oh, Patrick.
I'm guessing that might be a last name kind of thing, just because he's like a military guy, but maybe not. Wait, what's that Tempest again? I know you just said.
It's your sub-weapon.
Oh, okay.
I'll use one of them the next time I see a dinosaur, but like I said, I don't want to use them a whole ton because they're sort of expensive to use. You can buy them from the shop, but you also have to use them to open certain doors, which is very, very lame. Yeah, it's like Metroid if you have to either find the missiles on the ground or buy them from shops only. Like, no enemies ever drop them.
So, yeah, this is definitely the mixture of 1 and 3. Excuse me, 1 and 2, I'm sorry.
Right, so these are the save points.
It's not as... I mean, it's not survival horror, but it's not as survival as the first one, and it's not as action-y as the second one. It's like, literally, they just blended them both together, you know?
Alright, so, yeah, this is the thing I was talking about, increasing your stock of what you can carry, the limits.
Wow.
But, like, even just, like, carrying an extra middle size pack is 20,000. Now, they do give you a free one when you do it, but it's... And then it's 40,000.
Wow.
I guess... Yeah, I'll just do this.
If you compare, because I'm going to go get everything out of the way now, just in case, because we might not continue this game. Although I'm enjoying it so far, watching it. The first game, you don't see a dinosaur for, like, 15 minutes, right? And then you see, like, 1 or 2 for, like, a while, right? And the second game, you literally start out the gameplay by having to kill, like, 9 dinosaurs. And that was one of my big pet peeves of the second game, is it literally starts you in a situation where, like, you're like, you don't even know the movements. Well, you haven't even moved yet. There's not even, there was one screen where you walk for a second, right? And then all of a sudden you're fighting 9 dinosaurs. And this one kind of does the same thing, but it's not as bad, because at least it starts you with the easy, like, tiny dinosaurs.
So here's why I don't agree with you. The second game starts with a cutscene where you're ambushed by dinosaurs immediately. So you already know what the threat is. So there's dinosaurs everywhere, you're in the Jurassic world. So the first room, introducing the dinosaurs and then sort of, like, swarming you with them, it makes sense. In this game, because you're on a mysterious ship that destroyed you for some reason, it's basically being like, hey, this is an ancient ship that, like, no one knows what to deal with, and then it shoots you. I wish there was more build-up in this game, where, like, maybe you, like, explore for 15 minutes and there's nothing going on, but I think they, like, introduced the dinosaurs, especially the first thing you see is a T-Rex.
Yeah, that is true.
So I really wish it was a little bit slower paced in this game.
I get where you're coming from there. I haven't haven't played Dead Space in a long time, but I feel like you're not instantly fighting necromorphs. I feel like there's like...
Dead Space is also pretty unfortunately very quick.
Is it? Okay.
I wish it was a much more
it would be cool if
subtle build-up.
It would be cool if you went through a couple rooms and found some carnage, and you're like, what? Like, they said this is from 300 years ago, so you could find some, like, literally, like, 300-year-old bodies that were, like, halfway eaten, and you'd be like, what? You know what I mean?
Yes.
That would be... I get it. I just love this era of games. There's something about mid-2000s PS2 Xbox.
One thing I do love playing about this game, and Xbox games in general, the original Xbox S controller is comfy AF.
What?
Yeah, they just teleport in. It's not even working on them.
So it's the same as the first one.
And you saw the camera angle. It's so close you can barely see what's going on.
Wow, so you can start a room and all of a sudden there'll be enemies in it.
Yeah.
Rip.
By the way, that girl that we were with, Sonia, she's fine. I don't know if they even like. I guess they do explain that you split off with her, but it's just very sudden.
This game might have the worst audio leveling that I've ever seen.
It's like it's actually a downwards curve because the second game's worse than the first, and then the third game's worse than the second.
At least this one.
So here's the thing. So here's these wasps. If you let them go when you're fighting dinosaurs, they will attack for a couple seconds. But you need them to unlock some doors.
9! And you had 20!
Yeah. And they cost 500 apiece.
Dang, son! I thought you needed like 1. Okay, well that's huge then. Wow.
Look at this camera angle.
I know,
Can I
yeah.
see where I'm going?
This game begs to be, with these huge areas... That's the reason that a lot of fixed camera games work, like Resident Evils and some Silent Hills.
Oh god, dude! And look.
Or no, wait, Silent Hill isn't fixed camera.
So I'm trying to jump onto this thing, and when I get close to it, it literally changes the camera angle to 180 degrees. Very awkward.
But yeah, that's why a lot of the games work. They're in tight corridors. Silent Hill, now that I say it out loud, Silent Hill's not fixed camera, but a lot of times, imagine if it was fixed camera and you were just out in Silent Hill proper. Right? It would be awful. You'd be like, oh god, like, what is going on? Like, fixed camera I love, and I love tank controls, but only in small areas like that.
Also, it's probably hard to tell because these areas are so generic, but we're already backtracking pretty heavily, and we're 30 minutes into this game. So that's cool. Not only are the areas generic and confusing, but lots of backtracking.
At least you would take rooms full of these all day, every day.
Yeah. Anytime I see these guys, because the unfortunate thing is that the Velociraptors, like this strategy that I'm using of jumping in the air and hovering, they jump in the air, and they will attack you very fast and very strongly.
I can definitely see getting lost very easily, because everything looks the same, like, hangar something port side. Deck to deck accessway. Yeah. It's like, is that what it is? Yes. But
and there is a pretty good map system, but also the map is like very intimidating because they show you everything. You're like, holy crap, this place is huge. And like getting close, it's like I'm pushing R.
I mean, that's a nice map system,
yeah.
But wow. Yeah, like, you don't even have to find the maps of the new place you get to. It was just like, here's the whole ship. It's like, oh my gosh. I guess maybe it's future. So you just enter an area and you have the map for it because future.
Oh god. Thank you, camera angle. I can't see where I'm going. Hello. Please.
I will say, in fairness, both of us have played way worse games to completion.
Yeah, but this is a 2003 game. They should know how to do cameras.
Excuse me, I've played way worse games made much later than that.
See ya. sometimes dinosaurs spawn into that room.
Oh. Wonder if there's literal RNG.
I don't know how to get to that platform without taking damage. Luckily, the electric floors are not on them.
Wow, it took like almost nothing. Xbox, are you okay? When you blow those up, it like...
Yeah.
It doesn't even slow down, but it's like to make them disappear, it like looks
Please,
very weird.
Oh, see ya.
Can you get upgrades so far that you've seen to your life bar?
Yes, you can upgrade the hover bar, your life bar, and something else. I think it's just like the multiplier.
I was gonna ask
Like,
about the hover bar. Well, that'd be pretty cool. I mean, because it already lasts a pretty good time, and in fairness to this game, it really recovers pretty quick, all things considered.
Now, if come on, I can't wrangle. If you do use it the entire way, it does have to recharge fully, and it's slower before you can use it again. Like it overheats.
How much more of this game do you have like down so far?
Probably another 20 minutes.
I was just curious. I'm leaning towards the side of if you can stomach doing it, I'll at least take one more sit down to see if there's like an like you know how like Metroid has like it kind of all looks the same, but then there'll be like a new area that's like completely different.
It could be good.
And I'm curious to see if like you get to another area and it's like
now. Unfortunately, this is a horrible room because when you're trying to leave, it locks down because of containment breach, I guess. But I was stuck with this room for a while because there are like 30 Velociraptors that spawn into this room, and I'm just like, are you kidding me? Is this what I'm supposed to do? I was trying to like touch all the panels. I was trying to touch anything, and like nothing was working. I was like, what do I have to do? You have to kill all the Velociraptors. So we are going to be here using auto-aim on this.
Can they get up to you here?
They can, but it's hard. The AI isn't super good. Especially when you get to this place. They can come up here, but it's pretty infrequently. You know what? I'm actually going to use the limit breaker. I haven't used this thing yet, so maybe this will make it faster. This thing makes your weapon stronger, and you can have infinite, okay, a little bit faster. It's really kind of underwhelming, actually.
How often do you get one of these, or is this the only one you've seen so far?
It's the only one I've seen, and they do cost 10,000. It lasts 10 seconds!
Okay, F that.
Are you kidding me? I'm never using that thing
I would
ever
understand.
again.
I would understand if it cost 1,000, right? Like what is a small med pack cost?
Yeah.
2,000.
So, like, I'm sorry that this is boring, and it's like you literally cannot even see what's going on because the fixed camera angle is garbage.
Yeah, I don't care.
But my other option is what I was trying to do for the first 3 times, is like hover around the room and like be cool and like dive in between them. And there's actually like a shotgun weapon in this room that you can pick up. That is a little bit better, but once again, it's like the Dino Crisis 1 problem, where guns are so unsatisfying. I'll use a couple Tempests.
And do they like keep attacking them?
Yeah, but they only last for a few seconds.
Oh my god.
I do pick up another 10, and as far as I'm aware, I don't have another door for a long time, so...
Oh, they keep coming in!
Yeah, like... I was so confused because I was like, what am I doing wrong?
There's one up there.
You can kind of tell because the auto-aim. I'm so disappointed with that overdrive.
Yeah, it's called freaking... I mean, I guess... Have you gotten to a boss yet?
Wait. No, I have not.
Maybe if bosses have, like, literal life bars, which I'm guessing they probably don't, maybe it'd be worth it to save them for those, for, you know, for future ones. Because maybe it'll, like, take, like, a third of the boss's life real quick, and that's, like, super worth it. I don't know. It's the only thing that makes any sense to me for that.
Uh-oh.
very aggressive.
Oh god.
Holy crap! That took half your life.
Yeah. Also, start brings up that controller menu, so you have to push back, which I always confuse.
Come on. That is stupid.
Yeah, so this is the reason why I am so scared of these guys, because they can kill you so fast. By the way, this is normal. It's normal. I really didn't... I was thinking about being like, I'm just gonna play this game on easy, but I just felt like such a baby.
So the biggest question for controls is...
Hi, can you target
what do
the dinosaur that's right under me?
What do the two best buttons in the history of any controller, aka the white and black buttons, do?
I think one brings up the menu. Alright, are we done? Okay, cool. Yeah, cool room.
I love the Xbox controller. I love how it's just like, start, back, and you know what? Just in case, white and black buttons.
So that wide shot is your shotgun, basically. But once again, it costs money to use. It's not super cheap, but it's way better than using the Wasp. Alright, where's even the door I have to go through? It's so hard to tell. I get whiplash from these camera angles, and everything looks the same.
Especially in these big rooms, they like change way too often.
Alright, I think I'm right.
I think it's to the left.
No, it's the other side.
Excuse me. Yeah, like, I know people in general, especially back then, you know, don't like...
Dude, these camera angles are the worst.
They don't like the game spoon-feeding you, and I get it, but, like, even if for that first one, he would be like... If they were like, containment, and he would be like, oh, God, maybe I have to defeat all these dinosaurs, or something like that. You know what I mean? Just something. Because my first... Yep, that's exactly what I was talking about.
See ya.
Because my first...
I can't see anything! Could I, like, not die? Alright,
My first indication in that room would be like, oh, do I have to open the door somehow? I would, like, never, first thing, try to kill them all. I would never do that. Nice. Once you get to that save point, it is going to be pretty nice.
Oh yeah, this is like a puzzle room, kind of.
Have the dinosaurs had jetpacks yet?
No.
Do they get jetpacks? I kind of forget.
What, in Dino Crisis 1 or 2? No.
No, in 3.
I don't know. I haven't seen any yet.
Kind of remember that being a meme, but I might also be...
I wouldn't be surprised. I mean, I don't even know what the deal with the dinosaurs are. They're like zombie... Oh, hi.
Even that takes like...
A fifth of your life?
Yeah, 15... Maybe not quite 20%, but like a sixth, a seventh, an eighth of your life, and it's like...
it definitely looks like at least a sixth.
Yeah. Wow. And like those things are like nothing.
And I haven't upgraded my health yet because it costs like 50,000 points. But I would not be surprised if it's just like 1 inch.
I mean, considering how little that limit gave you. Yeah.
Camera. I hate you so much.
Oh, you gotta make that jump? Oh, God. Hibba. Hey, good thing that opened that bar thing. Because otherwise I'd be stuck in here and I would just die.
That'd be cool. Be better than this game.
Airlock 1. Ooh, is this a cutscene?
Oh yeah, it's actually...
Hold on, just turning the volume up double the freaking volume.
Freeze, Patrick.
Captain,
You all right? Where are the others?
Sonia is safe, but
Why does it look like on these chest plates that it's like
Sonya, you
boobs
copy?
with nipples?
Sonya here.
What's your position? Over.
Why they gotta do that?
Because it looks like that
The
because you're a
main bridge
pervert.
is close by. I'll meet you there.
Well, it's just like the Batman thing when, like, the one Batman had, like, nipples on it for some reason. It's like, why you gotta do that, bruh?
Tell me, Mother, are there any survivors on this ship?
Why did you attack the Saber? Where did those dinosaur monsters come from? Say something!
I'm this guy.
Piece of crap!
By the way, I really like the older guy's futuristic glasses where they're like, they don't even like go behind his ears. They're like just
pieces of a safer. This is not good.
Yeah.
They're somehow still on his face, even though they're like essentially just the lenses with like the bridge, and that's it.
I don't even know if there was a bridge. It just looked like the two floating lenses. Budget.
Yo, yeah, this reminds me of this reminds me of a ship Dr. Eggman would have in Sonic Adventure, and you would just explode it like this huge galactic thing, and he'd be like, yes.
An antique computer system.
He'd be like, Sonic, and then 2 hours later you'd come back with a bigger one, and you're like, Eggman, what's with the budget, bruh?
This is so much effort for what they're about to do. This entire cutscene is just for one thing.
What?
Oh! Breaks the glass.
Oh, God! I've like...
First of all, I have no idea how that guy isn't just instantly getting jettisoned out.
And also, like
at least that guy...
I feel like when it breaks the vacuum, you would just instantly, like, I don't know, die or explode or whatever.
Yeah. So this part is like... This part takes a while. It takes like 5 to 10 minutes. And you're just like, am I expected to believe that these guys have been surviving a vacuum in a room?
Dude, I have made my official decision. I cannot force you to, but my decision is to continue on at least one more sit down.
Okay.
Because I'm kind of invested in this absolutely ridiculously stupid story. It's not even stupid, it's like bare bones. It's so bare bones. It's like
the characters are non-existent.
Yeah, it's like we are Space Force. What were they even doing? Like, what was their original plan? You know, like their mission or whatever. It's like me, Space Force. Like, okay.
So Sonya's default gun is a little bit more interesting, but it still sucks. It like rebounds off the walls, but it's still not good enough for the Velociraptors. And they're so huge, and there's so many rooms that are just hallways. It's like, yeah, look how much it took. It took 40% of my HP.
Wow.
It doesn't.
No.
It's just telling you how to.
Where's the files where it's someone from 300 years ago being like, we should never have tried to create zombie dinosaurs. Yeah. Why did we do that?
It seems
we should not be playing God.
Yeah, and it seems like they're doing the thing where it's like, oh, the AI is nefarious, which is like the most generic antagonist possible. But I want to see the humans. I want to see the human corpses and stuff.
Airlock permit. Yeah, the only thing I can say is I got through all 3 parts of Kuon, and that game is so god awful.
Yeah, but Kuon
I believe in you for Dino Crisis 3.
Kuon's way more interesting than this game. At least to watch it. I guess is.
Yeah. But remember how frustrating. I mean, this game is very frustrating too. I get it. But Kuon was constant frustration. Remember those enemies that would just die whenever they felt like it, and would like and you moved like at the speed of slow. At least this one you can like get around. Do you have any healing items, by the way, as this person?
Sure, I don't need them.
Oh, are you like at the part?
Yeah, there's like one tiny more thing I have to do.
And one of these days... Ooh, 0G.
Yeah, so 0G, pretty awkward controls.
One of these days I'm going to surprise you, and you're going to come down, and I'll be like, alright, I have my game, and you're going to turn on the PS2, and it's going to be freaking Siren, and I'll be like...
I hope that day comes.
And I'll be like, here you go! I'll tell you the one game I'm never going to freaking play is Illbleed, because I don't understand it. I don't get it.
Illbleed's also is just so weird. It's like, it half is super serious and like very grim, but half like doesn't take itself seriously either.
If I ever play that game, all I'm gonna do is watch a speedrun and literally emulate it to the best of my ability. Because following facts is impossible. Did I tell you in that game that half of the items are literally, in fact, if not all the items, are like literally invisible? Because that's true. Items are literally invisible. How can you do that? How can you do that to me, Illbleed?
That's pretty cool.
Like, at least Siren, I feel like after you get the hang of it, you're like, okay, this game isn't the worst ever. No. Yeah, one of these days I will do Siren. Maybe for Complete in Shocks in October, I'll be like, here's your dumb Siren. For the person who did all of Silent Hill 4, most of Haunting Ground, and Kuan, here's your dumb freaking Siren dumb crap. Yeah, there's definitely a bridge.
Oh yeah, there is a bridge, definitely.
But there's like no part going to his... That's how you know it's the future. Oh,
He looks like futuristic Morpheus.
That's what I was thinking, yeah. I mean, Neo as a character is also kind of uninteresting, but this guy is like very uninteresting.
Alright, so I definitely want to get out of this room immediately because it's very small. And deadly. Give me that, whatever it is. Yeah, get me out of here.
Do they follow?
Probably.
It is pretty cool that you can, like, float backwards while shooting. Like, that's kind of neat. I mean, obviously pretty necessary because of how aggressive the dinosaurs are. So, you know.
Alright, so this is pretty much all I have. Just gonna do this room real quick. It unlocks a save point. I don't know where I'm going. Cool. Fair. I don't know where I'm going. Alright.
I have a feeling that much like Dino Crisis...
I can't see where to look. Okay.
Much like Dino Crisis 2, although to an even more extent, people did not give this game a chance because is this game, like, great or even, like, good?
Well...
No.
I don't think this game is... It's just whatever.
I feel like the meme potential's there for this run, though, so I'm saying at least one more time. And if you do one more hour and it's like the most boring thing humanly possible, then we'll call it. But I am interested in finding out what happens to these characters that barely exist. Yo, are you gonna do it?
Yeah, sure. Well, I don't know how much it actually does.
Do you want to save first? Like, in all seriousness, do you want to save first?
No, I don't know what to spend my points on.
Alright. Oh! That's decent.
It's decent.
Yeah, that's like...
100,000 is
Oh my
excellent. That's
God.
ridiculous. Everything's just so expensive.
Doesn't buy anything. That's my favorite thing to do in games. Have, like, a lot of currency for it, and then just be like, I'm not buying anything. Alright, we're 22 minutes in, apparently.
Well, I don't think it's 22 minutes. I mean, it's been like 45 minutes in real time.
Weird. I guess they don't count anything cutscene-wise or whatever.
Probably. So, I mean, I could keep playing if you want me to.
Do you know what's going on?
No, I don't.
Yeah, go ahead. That's it. It's like...